Nick and Leslie talking holiday cheer. Hallmark movies, cozy nights, and a festive review today. Hey, grab a seat and a sweet treat, cozy up, push play. Movie cheers, what you'll hear this Hallmark movie day.
Nick, tell me if you're really mine. Anyway.
So welcome to our new episode. Today we're going to be discussing Santa Tell Me, which was released yesterday, being November 12th? 9th. November 9th on the Hallmark Channel. And so let's play that beautiful trailer.
What if, instead of giving a holiday makeover to some stranger's house, you revisit your own childhood home?
Oh, wow. The name of your true love is Nick.
3 rom-com worthy meet-cutes, all with guys named Nick.
Aaron Krakow and Daniel Lissing, a holiday tale about finding true love.
Nick! Yes?
In the nick of time.
You have a little snow in your hair.
Santa Tell Me on Hallmark Channel.
All right, what did you think of Santa Tell Me?
You know what? I probably need to stop saying this because it appears that Hallmark is really ramping up its game now that we are in November, a little bit closer. But damn, they did a great job. I'm like, is this going to be right after the 5-year Christmas parties?
Oh,
It was good.
Overall, it was great. It had some messy bits, but I thought it was really quite fun. And it's funny, too.
Because
Like,
dating doesn't get messy.
it's not the dating that was messy. So I thought it was funny how, like, you know, we see the trailers for these. Like, as we're watching other movies, they play the trailer for what's coming up. From the trailers, I had no idea what was going to go on with this movie. And this movie did have a whole lot of plot happening.
A whole lot of plot.
Probably more plot than it needed.
No, I don't think so. It all tied in very well together.
It got a little rushed to like finish loose ends, but it was still it was a fun adventure, a fun romp.
Yes.
So you want to start at the top?
Well, we'll start at the top of our Christmas tree, Spo drinks. What do we got today? This is from Beach Kombucha, which is our favorite kombucha ever. And we're just so happy to live in St. Petersburg, Florida, to be part of Beach Kombucha with their Autumn Toddy. It's a freaking delight.
It is. What's in there
gosh.
again? Like cranberry or something?
Everything.
Okay.
I don't know, but
It's a good one.
the taste buds are merry.
All right, so the first thing I want to call out about this movie is it had a nice opening title sequence.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
yes.
Hallmark movies are always just white text. But this one actually had, like, 3D graphics that it zoomed into.
Someone learned how to do transparency.
It was, like, I think it was something that they put together maybe in Blender, or maybe they imported that into, I forgot the name of the free 3D program that comes with After Effects, but it was a step up for sure. It wasn't just white text.
Yeah, they did a great job.
And it began with 2 adorable little girls, Olivia and Darcy.
Well, that's kind of a first thing that I've ever heard you say. 2 adorable little girls, but children?
Well, okay, so yes, I don't like children, but these 2 were cute, and cute because they're like at a distance on a TV. So, like, I don't have to worry about them, like, making things sticky.
And cute, they were probably only in the whole movie for 2 minutes. So that was enough childhood acting for us. Or children acting.
Yeah. And so, like, one of them's writing a letter to Santa, their sisters.
Which, in this movie, we did see 3 very standout, I don't want to say movie parallels, call-out feature, whatever, to other movies, such as that little list this girl makes of, her name is Olivia, her sister's Darcy, and Olivia is making a list to Santa about her soulmate. And what can you think of a movie that does that as well? Practical Magic.
No.
It was like a little practical magic scene with 2 young sisters.
I don't think I saw that all the way
doing
through.
that. Oh, yeah. I watched that the other day when you were, I think, at your TV sofa.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I think it was a little shout out to Practical Magic there. So this already makes me, and the other two that I have coming up, kind of make me think of maybe like a Gen X writer, where this comes from. And so it's kind of cute. So it's cute. So I right off the bat, I feel like this is a Gen X writer.
It did seem.
Wait, hold on.
It had that.
Gen Y. I'm sorry, the one above us.
Okay.
Yeah, like Jamie and Griggs.
I don't know how the gens work.
The one that's.
I know the gin and tonic. Oh, sorry, that's stupid.
No, it's not stupid. It's okay. That's funny.
It's cute. Okay.
Yeah, but the generation right before us, before millennial, I think are the writers.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a cute scene. Yes.
I thought it was weird that these girls were writing a letter to Santa the night before Christmas.
Yeah, the night before Christmas, I decided to write my heart out to Santa's delight.
Yeah.
Who, like, why? But anyway.
Then smash cut to 25 years later.
Wait,
What?
No, smash cut to Christmas morning. Olivia gets the dollhouse that she's always wanted.
Yeah, and she's
It's
like, I can't wait
cute.
to decorate it.
It is cute. Honestly, like, I love a good miniature. I love miniatures. And to have a dollhouse like that, oh, yes. Anyway.
So smash cut to 25 years later. We see that she has a Breville espresso machine. Shout out to
Olivia.
Breville.
Yeah, bro. It was the lower model.
Yeah.
But, maybe she really knows how to calibrate, dial in her...
Dial in her grind.
Dial in her grinder, anyway.
She has a digital mood board. Wouldn't be a Hallmark movie without a mood board.
But in her defense, she is a home designer?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so
Some might call those
so she hosts like a home improvement interior design show.
interior designer.
The TV show. And I thought it was funny, like the footage of her working, she's just got an iPad with like 6 images of homes, and she's like, X circle, X circle.
It's like she's basically took a screenshot of Pinterest and is going down. But she works for Style Home Network,
Yeah, which is a
Hallmark's-
totally real network.
Hallmark's version of HGTV.
Yeah. And as at some point around this time, I don't remember the exact moment, maybe she's walking into a building or something, but she passes by an old guy who's like collecting donations dressed like Santa, and the camera lingers on him long enough for me to say, is that going to be a real Santa? And it's a real Santa.
And then he had no lines at that time. Well, I don't even
Yeah.
know if he was ho-ho-hoing.
I think he just said thank you as she handed money. Or
Oh, I
something.
don't remember that part.
Anyways, but I knew from that moment he's going to be magical when he comes back.
Because Santa's magical. We all know that. Nothing to deny there. But while she is racing past Santa, she is on the hustle bustle to a ride share that she has hired, going home to eventually meet with a producer.
You're sorry. I still have more notes before that scene.
Oh, okay. Well,
So she is at the office talking about the Christmas special they're going to film on her
wait,
show.
I'm sorry. Did she see him going into the office?
She saw the Santa going into the office.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said going out of the office. That's why I was. Oh, okay.
Sorry. But she's working with her boss to plan their Christmas special. And this is like...
December 1st.
That's right, yes, because they have this lovely little a technique of showing like the timeline of this movie by someone opening an advent calendar before each scene, so you can track what day of the month it is.
What movie does that? The National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh.
Every
remember
scene.
that.
That's
Okay.
what. Yes. So also, that's why I'm calling out what I believe is the generation that wrote this, is because every sequence that they do, they're doing the advent calendar, and it's exactly like that National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yes, which I think you've only seen once.
Yes, only seen once. But I do want to say it was interesting that they're planning their Christmas special in December.
In December.
So they're like, all right, we have 3 weeks to renovate this home.
Well, I
to
think
leave
they're-
with like a live reveal.
But I think it wasn't about a renovation to begin with. It was about decoration. She was thrown into something.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so she hosts the show. She's going to do this special. And then her boss is like, "Hey, we are bringing in a new producer to help you with this special. And if all goes well, we'll give you your own show." Which I thought was weird because it seemed like she already had her own show since she hosts it.
But
she couldn't really figure out like what she's responsible for and what her next step up would be in this industry.
I mean, it could have been that but she was also, while she was meeting with her boss right before, she was going in, is either before or after she went into a meeting where we saw basically the Hallmark prop room.
Yeah, she was doing a presentation for the investors or something, a boardroom.
I think it's probably the board, for the ones that will decide if she gets her own show or not.
Yeah.
So it must have also been more behind the scenes. It was
Of course,
a
none
lot
of them
of
had speaking lines.
correct, yeah, and so there was a lot kind of thrown at us at once to quickly create
Establish
her character.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah.
They did a good job. Also, we're just not paying attention all the
So
time.
she's unhappy that they assigned her to work with this producer. So that's when she calls in a rideshare to go home. She gets into the car.
We find out how much she does not like this producer because he comes from a model homes TV show where he's working with a bunch of
Models who
female models living in one home.
That's a cute pun.
It's a cute pun. And so she just spills her guts to this rideshare person who is clearly trying to tell her something, and she's just not shutting the fuck up.
Yeah. And then, so of course, we find out, it's actually the producer guy. She just got in his car randomly. Which is weird that he continued to take her to this location.
But he clearly knew who she was.
Yeah.
But for her safety, I'm just letting you know, she could have been sex trafficked. And I'm not saying Seattle is known for sex trafficking, but geez.
It's still irresponsible.
Irresponsible. But then later on, whenever they pull up to this home and he says, oh yeah, I'm this guy, Chris, who does the model home TV show. He goes, I want you to come in here with me. And she says to him, whenever they about to walk into a home, she goes, why would I walk into a home with a complete stranger? Okay, so now your spidey senses come on. But also that's when he introduces himself as, I'm Chris, the one from the model home TV show.
Yeah. And then so he's like, and we're going to be, as part of the show, renovating your childhood home. So how did he find
3 weeks.
How did he find her childhood home?
I mean, so all I can think of as a real estate agent that is available in the state of Florida, but also for referrals internationally, he could have her first and last name. She could be on social media, or as well as a biography could have been done of some form on a website, had her parents' name. She's not married. Grabbed their last name. He knew from a hometown she was, gone to the property appraiser site. How far back does it go? I don't know. It's all public record.
It's just still weird.
It'll take a minute, but you can find it.
Took her to her childhood home.
Yes, which, they say is old and decrepit, but it's not. It's just...
It didn't look that bad.
It did not look bad. It's like someone left some windows open for a month.
Yeah. And
it's a cute home. It is a very cute home.
And then so he starts basically taking over everything, saying like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. You're going to have to run everything by me for approval.
And she gets upset.
And she's like, geez, you might as well just direct it. And he's like, I am directing it. And she's like, what? They didn't tell me that. And that's where, again, I was very confused as to who is doing what on this show.
Yeah, we were like, oh, okay, what we thought was happening was not, so we decided not to fully keep track of that part anymore.
And then something else happened with good effects, and I just wrote down effects budget.
They did a good job, if it was the transitions or the lighting until the very last scene. Mm-hmm. But as even the decor that was going on, the amount of background workers, I get not all of them had speaking roles, but they did a lovely job on effects. Even the little snowage that was going on.
Snowage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
a full cup of coffee was used for once.
yes. And then cute ice skating. Okay. Now we get to the actual plot of the movie.
So, in all of her upsetness, she has to get to work because for some reason we can get permits to rebuild a home, to renovate it in the matter of 3 weeks during Christmas time or the holiday time for cities. But anyway, so she is having to pull an all-nighter and be in the home, and her sister comes to visit her with some wine, and they're just reminiscing on their old home. Mm-hmm. and saying about how they cherished their childhood there.
I'm guessing they have heat in this home.
There is electricity, so the younger, I think she's the younger one, yeah, Darcy goes to light the gas fireplace, and then so that's like how heat is. Anyway, while they're talking and reminiscing, all of a sudden a bench starts glowing.
It was a vent.
A vent in a bench.
Oh.
It was like a bay window.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, area. Like where the tree used to go. And it was glowing, and they went over and opened it up, and there was a letter from Santa labeled Olivia.
That's why I wrote good effects. Magical letter, because like the text magically appears on screen and
What it was.
glowy.
Yes, it
golden.
was good because they did it a few times as the text from this letter would change. So,
And so this letter has a delightful little poem that basically says your soulmate is you're going to meet your soulmate before Christmas, and his name will be Nick. And then comes the best moment in the entire movie, the following morning, when she has 3 meet cutes back
to back.
with a Nick A, Nick B, and Nick C. Their last names start with A, B, and C. Hilarious. So she gets a coffee, and she orders a very elaborate coffee full of like cinnamon and sprinkles and all this garbage. And the barista.
It's not garbage. It's not garbage. We would drink the fuck out of that. So don't tell me it's garbage.
So the barista calls out the drink rather than the name. And she's like, oh, that's mine. She goes to grab it. And then this other guy's like, oh, I think that's mine. And she's like, this is a very specific drink that's full of blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah.
Hot mess.
Yeah, it's called a hot mess. And she's like, oh my God, you've had a hot mess? He's like, yeah, I used to have it all the time at this ice skating rink. And she's like, I used to go to that too. And then so he writes his name and number on the cup, hands it to her, and she's like, Nick A? This is him. This is my soulmate. As soon as she steps out of that place, she bumps into a guy, sprays coffee all over him.
He goes, ooh, that's a little hot.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm so sorry. Here, take this sweater that my sister knitted for me that I just happen to have with me.
She gives a new one each year. I'm so glad they said that. She makes me one each year.
That's
because I'm not saying it's not special. It is so cute, in my opinion. But okay, I kind of don't feel so bad. She has probably at least 20 right now.
Yeah. And so the guy's like, I got to get this sweater back to you. Let me get your number so that I can meet up with you or something. He puts his number in her phone and he writes Nick B.
Very impressed on how speedy he is. But that's also why I think of the generation that wrote this is because they did that. Since last night... Last night we were at a very lovely party, had a great time, but when we were exchanging phone numbers with another couple, we tapped phones to exchange numbers on iPhone to iPhone. And I have never done that. I've airdropped stuff, but I've never done like the phone tapping, and it was just like, it blew my mind for a moment. And it just reminded me of that too.
Well, and also last night I was getting someone else's number and I'm like, okay, I go to contacts.
It took him forever.
No, wait, then I hit new contact. Oh, I have to choose which account I'm saving this contact to. So I pick my Gmail account.
It's so nice being an iPhone user.
I'm sure my phone could do shit like that. I don't do it enough to try.
I think it also just deals with type in the phone number first, then click add contact.
Since we've been married, you should hope
that pin scared me.
You should hope I'm not giving out my number enough to know how to do it efficiently.
Please do. They might need a seller by a home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Oh, real quick though, I just want to know on Nick B that she ran into. Whenever they spilled the coffee, he took off his jacket, but he did not take off his shirt that was covered in coffee.
Yeah, that was weird.
In which, for a moment, I appreciated that in the way because we meet the next Nick.
Oh. So, wait, how did she run into the next Nick again?
Okay.
Oh, he saved her life as she was about to walk in front of a car.
Oh, yeah, because she's just like, after meeting A and B, she's like, what just happened? Oh my gosh. No one questioned the glowing letter, the reappearing text and things like that. But she started to believe it. And so her mind was like, what is going on? And so, of course, you're just dazed and confused. But she continues to walk and proceeds to walk into the street where someone grabs her and pulls her in. And it happens to be Nick C.
Yep.
who
Nixie.
is not my type. I can tell you that
I mean,
off
like,
the bat.
this is all adorable, but, like, of course, plot-wise, we know she's going to end up with the producer. It's not, you have to feign surprise.
And
when
then
that
so
happens,
we're
but
trying to figure out then, like, because the producer's name is Nick.
It's Chris.
It's Chris.
Chris
It's Chris.
Davis.
We're trying to figure out, where does Nick come into play?
Yeah.
Like, will we get a phone call and we hear someone call him Nick? So we were like thinking
Or
of that.
shows
at
up
the
on
time.
caller ID as Nick.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so-
find, obviously his real name is going to be Nick. We were just like, when's it going to happen?
Yeah, when is it going to happen? And so it's cute. But we also, at this moment, they do not like each other.
Yeah.
From the things that she said about him, as well as what he's having her do, but run through everything through him in the matter of 3 weeks.
And it's at this point in the movie that I'm starting to feel like this is very plot heavy. It should just be the three Nicks storyline, not have this whole, I need to get this production of a show done before Christmas.
I disagree.
I feel like this could have been two separate movies.
I disagree, because even Santa wants to put the woman into a bind of, you gotta get all this done in 3 weeks. Figure out these three guys, which one is yours, but, let me throw in a fourth one to confuse you. But at the same time, let's put your career into this perspective. Now, maintain all relationships. Go.
So she has her first date with Nick A.
Sorry about what noise just occurred.
She has her first date with Nick A. Nick A rented out that old skating rink, and they have a very romantic skating date.
Well, was it that specific skating
Yeah.
rink it was?
Yeah.
Or is it just a skating rink?
It was that specific
It was.
skating rink.
Okay, I missed the name of it.
Yeah, and he says that he's a brain surgeon.
Yes, but real quick, the sister Darcy is doing a good job as a sidekick and having her go along. Just try. Just do it. For shits and giggles, see what happens, sister.
Now, I mean, we know nothing about the character, the sister Darcy. We have no idea if she has any family, what her goals are in life, if she... I don't know. She only exists to ask questions to our main character, so our main character's thoughts can be read aloud to the audience.
Yes.
That kind of frustrated me. I wish Darcy had more to do
Yeah.
and existed on another level.
But you wanted more of that story whenever they had given all that story, though, to Olivia? You were saying there was too much going on. You wanted to add in more to that?
Yeah. I wanted to take out all the production stuff, and I wanted Darcy to end up with one of the Nicks. I don't know.
There's because she only kisses one of them, so it's not like they have been tainted.
Hallmark taint. So it was a cute ice skating date, and what was adorable too is Olivia accidentally shoots champagne cork into Nick A's eye.
The scene was just fantastically done. It was cute. It was adorable. What a slippery slope of three things that occurred, and he apparently had to go to the hospital. He got a concussion.
Yeah.
But he laughed it off. Also, I was kind of iffy in regards to the wardrobe and the hair and the makeup on this. Olivia was good. Her makeup on point. Whoever did Darcy's makeup, not so much. We need to learn, if you are doing part of wardrobe, maybe know more about people's colors. Darcy, I didn't really pay attention that much to her colors, but Olivia, gold is her jewelry color, not silver. Silver's just not her color. Washes her out. So I wish they kind of thought more of that. Like, just do a color swatching on analysis on all the actors. You're only going to have 30 of them for all however many movies. So just take that moment, or have, hey, everyone, you got to start whitening your teeth 2-3 weeks before. Go get a color swatch done and then send us your results. Like, I'm just saying.
What's a color swatch done?
It's like where you are holding up certain tones of colors, be if it's pastels or darker colors, autumnal colors, spring colors, and seeing what ones match with your skin tone. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Color analysis. Anyway, so also her hair, Olivia, they made a bob for her, and it was quite a it made her older.
Too clean.
It's too clean. It wasn't until later on they finally added some curl to her hair, and it made her look much nicer. Anyway, sorry.
So
after Nick A's date, concussion.
So then there's a really cute moment where Olivia and Darcy go to visit the workshop of a carpenter whose furniture they want to feature on the show. And it's a really small moment, but Darcy is looking at this little reindeer. She touches his antlers and they break off. She has a quick moment of panic and then sticks it in a wooden box and hides it. There's no dialogue. It's not part of the story. I just thought that was beautiful little acting, beautiful little directing of the actor. Whoever came up with that was great because it felt like something that Darcy's character would do. Hide her mistake.
Right. I know, but at the same time, I'm like, put the thing back.
I liked it. That was cute.
Okay.
Anyways, turns out the guy who makes all this furniture is Nick B.
Yes, he is a carpenter.
Yeah. And I feel like he's basically doing the Aiden character.
Oh, yeah.
From Sex and the City?
Aiden character from Sex and the City.
I always thought that actor looked like him too, but a much handsomer one.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I know he has led a couple of Hallmark Christmas movies in the past.
Yes, very much so.
I wonder if the other Nicks have too. Did you recognize him from other Hallmark movies?
No, I did not. No, just him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with the actor for Olivia. I don't know if I've noticed her elsewhere. Again, we have only mostly watched Christmas, just a few other seasonal ones with Hallmark.
It just seemed interesting to me that like a guy who has been a lead would be a secondary character.
It did throw me off because I was like, I'm not like we had to have known that she was going to go with a producer, but seeing him since he's always been the male lead in our I questioned it for a moment.
Like when you're watching cartoons and you see an object that's brighter than everything else because you know it's going to be animated soon.
You know they're opening that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like, he's like, well, it's great to see you again, but I'll see you at dinner later. So there's a super cute. And that's when Darcy gets to see what Nick B looks like. And she's like, oh my.
She should have ended up with him.
So their date is at a Christmas market where she also runs into Chris.
But the Christmas market apparently is the wood shop that Nick B owns is like he's the third generation to own it, and they created this Christmas market by building all the kiosks and things like that.
Which is hilarious to me. So it's a family tradition that his family ran the Christmas market, which was also a plot 2 movies ago. It's hilarious to me that
they're all connected. HU. Hallmark universe. But
it's hilarious to me that in our neighborhood, I was on the first committee to run a Christmas market in our neighborhood.
Lord have mercy.
Hated it.
So
Leslie joined the committee the second year.
Wrong thing to do.
And so no one from those committees wants to be involved anymore. So now it's a whole new batch of people.
Shout out to Roger. If you listen to this, you were awesome. I missed you. I hope you're happy in South Carolina.
Shout out to Roger. So it's the idea that running a market would be a family tradition. Exhausting.
I guess you have less people giving their opinions in it.
I guess so.
I know it's family, so what am I
There's also
it's men.
In this situation, I guess there's also no permitting. They just everyone just shows up.
Yeah. We own this alleyway that it's at.
Yeah. So then she has her date with Nick B at the Christmas market. And
runs into
Chris, who appears to be on a date with a girl. And some cutesiness, they challenge each other to like a throw a snowball to knock over a thing competition, like a little midway game. And she has a horrible shot, ends up throwing the snowball at Nick B, and it knocks him out.
But just a horrible shot of aim. The strength, the power that she wielded with that snowball.
So Nick B, even though he has led his own movies, is not a good actor.
Another concussion occurred.
So when he gets hit, he crosses his eyes, does a little dizzy face, and then falls. I'm like, this is a cartoon.
But it's date number 2 that she gives, she hurts and has to take to the hospital.
And then she has her date with Nick C, where she meets him at
the same Christmas market.
They gotta reuse these sets.
Yes. But he is shirtless. She's walking past the line of women, and she sees him sitting in the Santa chair shirtless in his firefighter
suspender pants,
boots, and posing for the fireman calendar of, I guess, for the season that they're selling. And he goes, "Sorry, ladies, gotta go." And everyone's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Sorry."
So they walk around. He helps her buy a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, we got our little Christmas tree stroll.
Yeah, she makes a couple of jokes that totally go over his head because he is dumb.
Very. That's the unfortunate part of.
And they go to this cookie decorating station where she picks up a cookie that's already decorated like Santa. There's a jar labeled almond flour. She picks up a little pinch of almond flour, not using a spoon or anything, nothing hygienic, sprinkles it on the Santa cookie, and is like, "I decorated this for you."
I just, like, things in general. Okay, just why can't we add a spoon to things, Hallmark? I don't know. The finger fuckery that is happening with these sprinkles, these almonds, these coconut. Oh.
It's funny. You're more concerned with the unhygienicness. I'm more concerned with the stolen valor.
Our ham.
Oh, time to take the ham out of the oven. Echo stop. I gotta glaze this ham. You go.
Okay.
You go.
No, take your mic and talk to me. Yeah. Take your notes. No, come back.
I'm getting my notes. Okay, so I don't like the stolen valor of her pretending that she decorated that thing when all she did was sprinkle almond flour on
to
it.
flood icing on a cookie. Hello, that's not easy. So yeah, she took the stolen valor, put the what I thought was coconut flakes. Nick called it out very well, saying those are almonds. And I'm like, who's putting shaved almonds on a cookie, let alone
Because the
a
jar was
shortbread
labeled almond
cookie?
flour.
I'm sorry, say it again?
The jar was labeled almond flour.
Oh my gosh, I was blind. I did not see that. Maybe my glasses were off at that moment. Anyway, so she then hands this cookie. By the way, these trees were not Balsam Hill trees on this Christmas tree stroll. I just want you to know that.
Oh, we don't have to be subtle. Balsam Hill, if you're listening.
Balsam Hill, if you're listening, the
We will
trees that
gladly
you
take a
did later
sponsorship.
on. I'm sorry.
We'll gladly take a sponsorship.
We'll gladly take a sponsorship because we know those were Balsam Hills in the Hallmark prop room. Fantastic. They were full. They were luscious. The greenery, the frosted tips. That's right.
So the more we say it, the more we can link it in the transcript
Balsam Hill.
to the Balsam Hill website.
Oh, Balsam Hill. We just got the Balsam Hill catalog too. And it was, I was just drooling over it earlier this morning. So, Nick C., we were at the date and she hands the cookie to him like, "Oh, here's a nice Christmas cookie for you." And he takes the smallest of bites and he goes, Wait, what did he say? This tastes funny?
I don't remember exactly what he
Oh,
said.
anyway, he goes, "This tastes like almond." She's like, "Yeah."
What are you
allergic to it? And the next scene, he is poofed up. So now we finally have a full allergic reaction. This is now the third allergic reaction we have talked about and questioned, and it actually happened. So this is now the third date that she is hurt and sent to the hospital. So EMTs take him and ship him away. Kudos on the is it prosthesis or prosthetics?
I guess just the makeup department.
The
but yeah.
makeup department did a great job in poofing him up, unless they said, "Hey, we'll pay you a few extra to give you some more injections." But they did a good job on his allergic reaction makeup, making him a poofy face. It was funny. So the next thing is she has, there was one good montage, and it's coming up whenever she goes on her second dates with everyone. So she tells her sister what's going on, and then they have a change in the letter that Santa wrote. All of a sudden her purse starts glowing whenever they're talking, and
The maitre d' montage.
I'm trying to get there.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. The hostess montage. So she, all of a sudden the letter changes and it's like, "You have to find your true love. This is your only chance for your forever endeavor. Find that man." And so the sister's like, "You gotta do it." So she sets up second dates. Oh, that's what happens too. Darcy, the sister, is trying to tell her how to text the men. And Olivia just does what she wants and goes, pleasure meeting you. How about we have a date? And the sister's like, they won't respond. All of a sudden, they all respond. Like, 1, 2, 3, ABC. So she sets up the dates, and they're all at the same exact restaurant. And the maitre d' hostess that is checking them in and seating them catches on, and it's just cute. He does a great job staying quiet. Obviously, he's a background actor, but his face says it all.
He's like, oh, this bitch be fucking.
Oh, she be fucking. And which we thought she was for a moment, because they both had gasped at the same time.
What a smash cut.
It was a smash cut to her falling in bed. To where it looked like someone was going to then be proceeding to fall on top of her. But it was her being exhausted from the 3 dates that she had been on. Not the same day, but I think it was probably like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday situation.
I feel like this movie was really pushing the upper edge of rated G.
I don't think so.
Well, especially with that Nick job joke at the end. But anyways, moving ahead.
Oh, that was, yeah. So... It was very cute, yeah, and we talked about that. All of a sudden, she now has inspiration on how to decorate the home, the outside part, for Christmas, and she decides to do it with a big bow because it's a gift. So, if anyone can shout out where another movie that you've seen where they wrapped a house with a big bow, House Sitters.
Yep.
With Goldie Hawn and
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. I almost said Martin Short. So, anyway, that also lines up with why I think who wrote this. But so they wrap the house in a big bow. Anything else that you'd like to add, Nick, at this moment in regards to the montage then of them quickly getting this house renovated in selling condition?
My only note was she fucks. Oh, and the boss Chris tells her she has a plan. No, sorry. Chris says something like, oh, you should blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I don't have time for that. The thing is going to be in a couple days. And he's like, don't underestimate yourself. Which I thought was like toxic work environment language.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, she's already had a lot going on. Doesn't need more. So then we find out that we have a little talk about... Oh, okay. So we're wrapping up the filming of what the renovation has been going like with the Style Network. But you have Chris and Olivia together eating Chinese. Oh, they had their little almost kiss moment when they were like working late and walked back together, and they almost kissed at his stoop, but they were taken away by a phone call or something like that. But it was cute. That's when she noticed that she was falling for him and getting confused of, well, my true love's supposed to be named as Nick, but I'm going in love with a Chris. So that was perplexing her. And she was talking with her sister about it. And his sister's like, just keep going. But then we find out later that, their parents have passed, and Nick has Chris has parents, but they were good parents, but the parents weren't soulmates. Can definitely relate to that. Where you can clearly not understand love in a way from a relationship that you're seeing and being confused by it, and then how to understand it as an adult seeking a relationship like that and fully understanding it. So that can definitely be difficult to want to be in a relationship. And so that's like what Chris is talking about with Olivia. And so that was a nice conversation that they had.
Was that a noisy sip?
Oh no, it's Nick's. I've been talking. You're back.
Yeah.
This ham, if you all, be if it's listening or viewing, I wish you could smell the ham. It smells delicious.
I'm waiting for the broiler to finish preheating. Then I put it on the broiler.
Oh, it smells fantastic. Anyway.
So it's somewhere around this point that Chris shows Olivia a room that he decorated. And gorgeous.
It's the Hallmark prop room. It's the next one. This is where all the Balsam Hills were.
Yeah.
This is where they have been hoarding them. The Balsam Hills.
The room's like all white, but with deep red curtains. Loved it.
Oh, that was the family room.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the prop closet.
Okay, so yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just like the look of white walls with deep red curtains.
Yeah, it was very pretty, the home that they renovated and redecorated for Christmas.
Oh, and then Leslie called out closed mouth talking.
So there is another feature, characteristics that we have observed as Hallmark actors versus sitcom and movie, more mainstream movie actors, is the amount their embouchure moves whenever they speak, which, the more they open their mouth, the more gaspy sighs we hear them breathing. But the smaller they're able to control their mouth and have a normal conversation, but also can maintain the pitch, that's when you start to notice the quality of the actor and where they fit into. And really notice that in Olivia's actor is the mouth is open. Not as breathy as others that are Hallmark, but also she needs to close her mouth some. Chris was doing a great job on that. Yeah. Anyway, just something that we've looked at.
So then it's around here that Chris does bring...
By any means, we can't act.
Oh, yeah.
No, we cannot. Okay.
Whenever I try to do voiceover...
But there's what's the difference whenever you have, like, football, people watching football and they're yelling at the screen? Like, they're not players and coaches for, like, national leagues, things like that.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, you never heard that term?
No, I'm just laughing at it, yeah.
Okay. So then Chris brings her as a surprise, to the prop room, where he sets up this beautiful scene.
With Balsam Hill trees.
Balsam Hill trees, in a horse-drawn carriage with beautiful lighting, and he brings her hot cocoa, and
he brought
turns on a
thermos
snowmaker
with hot cocoa and a jar of marshmallows.
And I know it's supposed to be romantic and all, but I'm thinking this is very inappropriate.
I would fuck in that. I'm just saying, if I had the opportunity to be surrounded by Balsam Hill trees that were gorgeously laid out, lay me down in that sleigh. Nick.
Shout out to Balsam Hill.
Shout out to Balsam Hill. Oh, that's my
beautiful
fantasy.
Work romance in the prop warehouse. And then also we noticed, like, there you could see their breath. So we're like, how cold is it in this prop warehouse?
Yeah, I get it that it might not be temperature controlled, which it probably should if it's a prop room, but you could see their breath. So that was the one downfall of effects. They were inside.
I think it's probably done preheating. Keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Yep.
And then she realizes that she is, at this time, she has already kissed one of the Nicks. She has already laid her lips on someone. Nick A. Oh, I didn't bring it up earlier. So also on their wardrobe, whomever was doing the beanies on the guys did not do an adequate job. They made them look like sailors. Or not sailors, fishermen. Fisher people. People that fish. It just really...
Starting now.
I tried to be subtle.
So it's just the same thing. Like, can we pay attention to what we're slapping on these people? That's the thing. Also, it looked like that Hallmark bug caught a couple of them also towards the end, like the sister. Yeah. She looked a little tired and sick. You said the broiler's on?
Yeah, that's why it smells like a broiler. Should I turn on the vent?
Not yet, anyway.
So then Joyce is calling. Chris gets a phone call from Joyce, which is weird too, because he had, like, his phone announces Joyce is calling.
Joyce is
calling.
Which
Joyce is calling.
Which does that mean that it turns out to be... So it turns out to be a charity labeled like...
Named Joyce.
Justice of Year Children Everywhere. I can't tell you what, but it's something about children and charity and Christmas time, but the acronym is Joyce. But the woman Mary, who is the
woman that she
director,
saw Chris on a quote-unquote date with.
right, her name is Mary, but why wouldn't it then be Mary calling, or is like the headquarters calling?
Yeah.
Maybe when all the boys call from the Joyce thing, or the children, it's called Joyce and they just want to talk to him. So it was interesting on what they did there. I guess they needed to quickly wrap it all and bring it all together. But okay, so we chose Joyce.
All right, so then we go to the filming of the live reveal of the show.
On Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve.
And who shows up? But Nick A. As soon as he leaves the room, who else shows up? Nick B. As soon as he leaves the room, Nick C is also there.
Olivia Space. The actor did a great job. She was like, what the fuck is happening?
Why is everyone just able to walk onto set?
Like, I don't, hot set. You need to go check that. Something's happening.
It's clicking. Click-a-licking.
We're going to pause this. I'm seriously, I'm concerned.
All right.
So her face was priceless when all three of them there, and then someone yells, if you're not on set, get out to the backyard. So they go to the backyard. Someone from the production team puts a screen, little TV monitor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, for the one Nick A to watch. And then Nick B comes up and is like, oh, hey, hello there. He goes, hi, I'm Nick. He goes, oh, how do you know my name? And so they both find out they're Nick. And then Nick C also walks up, and that's how they find out they're all Nicks. And then Olivia starts talking on the camera.
And they're like, oh, we're all named Nick. We should take a Nick pic.
We should take a Nick pic.
And the other two look at him really, really weird.
Yes. Oh, to which Nick C is very
He's vain.
He's very vain. Yes.
He posts a lot of selfies.
A lot of selfies, shirts off, as well as, they aren't selfies, just a lot of pictures of him. Someone's taking photos of him. So, and sends them all the time, and she's just like, ugh. But, I think they were just trying to think, oh, someone's hot. Let's make him that way in Hallmark, but he's not even Hallmark, huh? Anyway, so they see Olivia talking on the monitor as she's live on her show. And then one of the guy goes, isn't that such a nice smile? And the one looks at him going, how do you know Olivia? And then cut to Olivia. We're in the
footage from the camera filming Olivia.
We're in the living room with Olivia standing next to the tree. And she's just like, thank you so much for joining us on our live network for decor. And then all of a sudden in the background, you see 3 adult men fighting with blow up candy canes, snowmen, and so we all have to run out there, and they are just distraught that they are all only going on 2 dates with this one woman and force her to choose, and she is on live TV and also in front of Chris. Yeah, so I did the fight. It was funny, the fight scene.
Yeah.
But also I'm just like, oh, God, men are stupid.
Yes. And also, none of them were exclusive.
Yeah, let's have that talk. In my opinion, it's like you have a third date, which they only had like one true date.
Yeah.
That's when you can say so are you dating anyone else? Maybe what are your intentions? If you don't have that conversation, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
You will be dating multiple people. That's what happens. Guess what? Then have the conversation, be a grown-up, and communicate for once in your life. You are this old and not with anyone. Must wonder why. So
then after the fight, they say, you need to choose between one of us. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't. And then they all leave. They're like, come on, Nick, let's get out of here. It was very adorable.
It was cute. Their little... and they threw down their candy canes and they squeaked.
Yeah.
It was cute. So Foley, whoever, did a great job.
Yeah. So then now Olivia is smash cut to later. Olivia's really sad, thinking she just lost her job. She has her phone on Do Not Disturb. Her sister shows up and is like, hey, where have you been? I've been calling you a million times. And she's like, oh, I didn't want anyone to bug me. And she's like, well, the show was a hit. I don't know why the sister would know this, but she's super popular on social media. She's like, everybody loved it.
It was trending. And...
Yeah. So she looks at her phone. She's got a whole bunch of missed calls and stuff. And
it's from her boss saying the network loved it, the execs loved it.
Yeah.
And she gets her own show.
Yeah, and also the three Nicks are getting a dating show.
They're getting a dating show.
I thought that was good. I want to see that.
Yes.
And then she's like, oh my God, I need to go talk to Chris because he's getting on a train in 10 minutes.
But ding dong, yeah, that's whenever she is
Oh,
introduced to Mary from the Joyce Foundation. And it's like, oh, I have a gift from him from the children. But he's leaving town. And then so that's when we come out like, oh my gosh, we need to go catch his train. It is 11:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Why was Mary at the door at 11:40? If my doorbell rang, granted they were not they were not at her home, they were at the set. But my goodness gracious, golly jolly, that is late. And
also, no one tried to call Chris.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. No one tried to call Chris.
Mary could have called him.
Mary could have called him.
Olivia could have called him.
Olivia could have called him.
Instead, she's like, oh my God, how am I going to get there? And then Darcy's like, I'll drive you. And then, oh no, Darcy locked her keys in the car. What are we going to do? Oh, there just happens to be a horse and carriage.
Someone abandoned a horse at this... Jesus. What is this timer?
Echo, stop.
You will have to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone abandoned this horse, which, you know, Santa Claus magic is what occurred. So they get on this buggy, this horse and carriage, hop on, run crazily through this town, somehow didn't kill anyone.
Yeah. They make it to this train station where they have a beautiful little meet cute and not meet cute, an I love you kiss, and in terrible lighting.
Terrible lighting. It's like the snow machine was in the way of the lights. So it was a good smooch that was happening, but you were not lit up well. And also the lighting made them look instantly older.
Yes.
Yes, their wrinkles came through.
All right, so let's start to wind this down. Now, we have a lot of people to cover in the chemistry-o-meter. How would you put Olivia with Nick A?
Nick A, he grossed me out. I say 3.
Oh, okay. I put a 5. All right, Olivia and Nick B, the carpenter.
I think that was a 5.
Oh, I put a 3.
I thought it was a 5.
I don't think they had enough time together for me to really evaluate. All right, Olivia and Nick C.
0.
I put a 2. Now Olivia and Chris.
7.
7. Okay. I put 5. Just because Chris is he has no emotion throughout the entire movie.
Okay. Oh, so we did see Santa Claus come back a few times.
Oh, yeah. He is magical.
He is magical. Saw him on the platform whenever Chris was on the hustle and bustle to get to his train. And the Santa Claus touched him and apparently magically disappeared his ticket to
and
the
made
train.
A magical letter.
And put the magical letter up, basically saying, don't get on this train. Your love of your life is coming for you.
Oh.
Which, again, no one called him. And so they found each other on the platform, and they went to embrace, or were about to, but over like the PA system. That's when you hear his name is Nick.
Yeah.
It's Nick Chris
Nick David. Yeah.
Davis.
Nick Chris Davis.
Nick Chris Davis.
So he ends up being Nick D.
And she was ready for Nick's D.
Writing, I'm giving this a 5. Acting, 5. Directing, 6.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This is a must see.
Must see. It is going to be in my top quarter, probably.
Oh, quarter?
Yeah. It's still not 5-Year Christmas Party.
Oh,
but
no,
it's probably my second favorite Hallmark movie.
I know,
so
it's
far.
I'm like, oh wow, I think it's gonna be. I agree with you on that part.
I like it better than the trivia one, and trivia one was good.
I agree. That's what I was like. So the trivia one did get bumped down some. So we'll see how it all plays out.
And tonight we're gonna watch something about an Irish Christmas in Ireland.
Christmas. An Irish Christmas.
Irish Christmas. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Thank you to Balsam Hill for hopefully seeing this at some point.
Yeah, we love everything about Balsam Hill and Hallmark.
And we're gonna see you guys soon.
Let's go enjoy some ham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.